Hello, in this video we're going to be covering SCQ, Select Condition Query. I'm going to just open that up right now so you can see I'm on my regen layer, and as with most things you are going to be working with what you have in your selection layer. So Alt SCQ, and this is the SCQ window that uses structured query language, SQL, to build an expression which will make a selection on the map based on your layer's attribute data. So as you can see here, we have field names, operators, and unique values. So the general workflow with this is to open SCQ and build an expression based on what you find in that layer's data. So for instance, in regen, C1 is for the silviculture, and you can see that that is populated right away. And so with C1, let's just make an expression real quick just to show how this works, and then I'm going to go through all of the other functionality inside this window here. So C1, double click, equals as the operator, and clear cut. I'm going to double click that, and now you can see down in the expression builder box we have C1 equals clear cut. I can hit validate here, and you can see the expression is valid. This is really helpful when you're building more complex expressions. You can kind of check it as you go along. And there's an option here to zoom to the selected if you know that you want to see the extent right away, or you have a specific feature that you're looking for. You can just quickly check that box and hit OK, and you'll go straight for it. So why don't we just do that now, and we'll see what the regen layer looks like with all of the clear cuts selected. Hit OK, and there you go. So you can see it's spread through all of that district. As you would expect, it's quite a big zoom level, and you can check your G cell quite quickly, 1118, and you can use this info bar down here to also see the area. So let's go back into SCQ. You can also access this with SSCQ, and that's a subset condition query. And you can see here in this method that opens up select from current selection. So I want to go over that box anyway, so I just wanted to briefly show you that. So now that I have nothing selected, G cell of 0, SCQ, this opens by default to the method create new selection. So let's select that again. C1 equals clear cut, and I'm not going to zoom this time. Let's just apply that. So now I've got my 1118, and from this window, if you wanted to now make a subset selection, you can do that based on these four options. So create a new selection, obviously not going to be a subset selection. That's going to give you access to the full data table. So all of this data is going to show up. Add to current selection will also have the full data table because you can add anything to your selection. Remove from current selection, also full data table. Actually, no, sorry, I misspoke. The top two are full data table. The bottom two, remove from current selection, uses a subset of that data, and same for select from current selection. So now that I have select from current selection, we could potentially do another query. We can do another expression in here, and let's just do that on area, for instance. So I'm going to clear this query with the clear button. Now we have an empty box down here, and let's say we want to do area, let's say less than, double click area, less than 0.9351, and we'll hit apply, and you can see the G cell jump down to 5. So you can also see that because we have this select from current selection still, this table, this value list has updated with the 5 G cell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can stay in SCQ and you can make more and more selections, and using this new history window you can see what selections you've made before. So if you kind of forget, like, where did I get that area from? Well, it was probably from this clear cut that you started with. So I'm going to clear this out again actually, and you can actually, if you wanted to get back to where you were before, potentially you can double click on this and that will be added right back into your query builder box. Hit apply, and let's watch this G cell. Oh, sorry, select from current selection. Let's do a create a new selection, because I already had everything that was a clear cut, so it didn't have to update my G cell. Let's apply that again, creating a new selection. We're back to the 1118. Okay, great. So let's just get through the rest of this here. Unique values allows you to search through all of your values. So if you wanted to search for, let's see here, an area of 0.61082, you can see that it filters down that list, making it easier to find what you're looking for. Or if you wanted to just find all clear cuts, you can also just start typing and it will take any value, any character from that string there. So good way to narrow down your results if you're dealing with quite a few different values there. You also get a minimum maximum. In the case of strings, it's just going to do this alphabetically. Numeric fields like area are going to be listed from minimum to maximum. And I think I showed clear query. You can add to favorites. So this is quite a bit different than what you might have seen in Atlas SE, but this will allow you to, over time, build up your list of potentially expressions that you use quite often. So if you wanted to always be searching for C1 equals clear cut, not the best example because it's fairly easy, but you can just click this button here, add to favorites, and it's going to add that to your list of favorites. So I did this earlier, so now I have two of them, but that's not a problem. You can just come in here and hit C1 equals clear cut. I'm sorry, I need to click out of there first, and there it is right in your list. If you wanted to add a custom one, you can come in here and go add favorites, add. We'll just call this one test, and we can put the area in there from earlier. So there's a new expression, and if you want to populate that, sorry about that, I'm just going to click here. You can go to your favorites. We called that test, and it will populate that right back in there. You can always hit validate to validate your expression if it's more complex. I think I'm going to wrap that up right there and look for another video if you want to go into more detail. I may add a couple of tips and tricks for this query builder function.